going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle.
Y'all tune in Monday. Okay, y'all tune in Monday. All I got.
What's going down?
Petty Academics.
Just be ready, man. Be ready. Be ready. But what's up with y'all?
I'm good, man. I feel good. I got some good rest. Ready to talk. Some hip hop today.
Somebody hear Wayno say he feels good, man. I see him look at his watch.
Yo, Wayno just said he's got to cop himself a gift for this new job he got. What are you going to buy yourself?
I just going to see it. I ain't
Nobody
saying
treats himself like Wayno does.
Third house, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Wayno might walk up in here with a Birkin bag, man. Who knows?
A Birkin bag?
Who knows, man?
Now you're being excessive.
How you even know what that is?
Big ass Chanel bag that
buys them.
You didn't see that big ass Chanel bag that
right?
Floyd has? Yo,
Floyd got a bag? Like a...
I don't know if it was for him. No, it's yo, he was like, yo, Gunna rapped about having the biggest.
That's why he knows.
Like biggest Chanel bag. Well, I bought it. I was like, yo, this shit is some shit you would only see on the Chappelle show. But it's hilarious watching him on Instagram.
Or in real life.
Right.
You guys watch any of the debates last night?
I watched clips.
Did you know that it happened?
Yeah.
I just looked at me like, what are you talking about?
I watched some clips.
Yo, reparations were on the table last night. That was some wild shit.
It's a crazy conversation about reparations. Right.
Whew. No, Ak?
I ain't gonna. What debates was it? It was
like the Democratic.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold
Round one.
Trump about to repeat on these niggas, man. It ain't looking too good. Like everybody's saying some people saying some good stuff, but we don't have no candidate where I feel like everybody gonna rock with. It's so divided, but we'll see.
Let's see. Round two tonight. See what happens. All right, music time. So we had Cordae on the show last week, and of course he dropped his debut album, The Lost Boy, last Friday. Features from Chance the Rapper, Anderson .Paak, Ty Dolla $ign, Pusha T, Meek Mill, and more. Production from Cole, Cardiac, Kid Culture, and more. He had 3 singles from this project so far: Have Mercy, Bad Idea, and RNP. So you guys had plenty of time to listen to this project. We know you have been dying.
Yes.
To give us your review.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
All right, so, I mean, I never doubted Cordae. Like, I never doubted him, but I was also, I wouldn't say worried, but I was kind of thinking of where he would go. Like, I didn't know what direction he would go. I knew he was going to rap, but I didn't know, like, is he going to try to sing? Is he going to try to step out his box? I think that he delivered one of the best rap albums of this year. I think that, when we had him on the show, Ak, asked him how the pressure felt. And even from last year, when he was like, yo, you need to be challenged. I think that he, like, answered the challenge. I mean, his album, it takes you through, I think that, like, good albums take you through a lot of different emotions, right? And that could be, like, feeling good, making you reflect, you know what I mean, making you think, and also making you have fun. And I think that he touched on every single emotion. And the features, he's not outdone on any of his features. Like, I don't think that he's, like, to be on a record with Pusha, to be on a record with Meek, you know what I mean, to be on with Ty Dolla $ign, all these different people, it's not to the point where it's like, oh, they just did him favors. You know what I mean? It sounded like the records were very cohesive when it comes to the features parts, And what's ill is like, because he's YBN Cordae, him not having them on there, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that for what he tried to accomplish, he nailed it by not putting them on there. Because then people would have been like, oh, you know what I mean, you just trying to alley-oop it. I think that he propels, like, the YBN name into a different space now. Yeah. Because now you respect them a little bit more as a collective because they got a Cordae, and then I feel like Namir, if he has the right album, can do the same thing for what he does in Almighty J. Like, for each lane that they're in, I feel like all of them could reach the highest level, and I think he did it with this album.
Well said. Ak, you have been respectfully waiting for him to show and prove. What do you think?
That's an interesting thought on YBN, the overview of it. I feel like this kind of separates him from all of them.
Right, absolutely.
And, when I was talking about the freshman list, I was like, if we're thinking about the lyrical new rappers, like, it's automatic, like, he's a shoo-in. Now, overall with the album, he completely delivered. And I was really pleasantly surprised at the level that he delivered at. Like, it was never a question in my mind that he could rap. Never a question in my mind that he could rap. Could he make a whole project of songs that we will fuck with? Like, beyond just saying he could rap, I had some doubts about that. But also, I was wondering, and that's the whole thing, like, with the debut project is, what the fuck is your story? That if you can't answer that question, you can rap. And I remember even talking to him, talking to Ace, his manager, and they basically told me before I even heard it, was like, yo, listen, you're gonna hear his story on this upcoming project, and honestly, we did.
Right.
Like, you know, songs like Broke as Fuck, you know, Thanksgiving, which by the way is my personal favorite off the album. It reminded me a lot of a young J. Cole. I was listening to this shit, I was like, this is like some J. Cole reincarnated shit. And not only did I think he delivered up to a very high standard where it is probably one of the albums of the year, he also separates himself from almost 99.9 of these niggas in the game. You know?
In his age bracket.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I don't only want to just kind of pigeonhole him. I know I've done that before.
Yeah.
Just kind of like comparing him to his peers.
Right.
But this album is something you would expect from somebody who's well developed in the game.
Okay.
I like the fact that they called it an album and not a mixtape, and they didn't try 7 times, and then because I'm getting tired of that. I'm getting tired of artists like continuously dropping projects that we know that you have all this high level production from, and then it's like, but here's my debut. No, this is like his debut, and I think it should be taken serious as such. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like it's better for artists who are up to like the antics and the music doesn't match up. Cordae never seemed like he would be that kind of artist. Definitely a great project, one of my favorite of the year as well. Certainly did not disappoint, and I think we definitely have him song picks for our playlist coming up.
Absolutely.
Ak, you want to take us through some numbers?
Oh man, can't wait for Monday. But
Good time.
Listen. Well, actually, I'm gonna skip to the bottom before I do what. By the way, Chance expected to land number 1. Him, you know who we never talk about? For the first time yesterday, and I know the people in the comments are gonna go crazy. We never talk about NF ever. And honestly, like yesterday, someone actually had a conversation with me about like NF, and I was like, he's one of those rappers that does numbers, but like, I don't know if the impact is there within like, there's that shit that matters circle in hip hop. I don't know if it kind of penetrates that bubble, but he does great numbers. He's expected to be number 2 with about like 95,000 copies sold. Okay. Chance, who was only expected to do 100,000 like a couple days ago, it got bumped up to 125. Of course, Lil Nas X, he smashed that week record of having the most consecutive, the longest running consecutive number 1 Hot 100 song.
I can't keep up anymore. Let's just give him all the awards for breaking the records.
Yeah,
man.
well, he
like
got it
it's
now.
all like just a blur at this point about
17 weeks. 17 weeks. So, you know,
Alright.
Congratulations to him. And of course, Key Glock and Young Dolph, their project is expected to do around like 42,000 first week, which to be honest, I think is really surprisingly good for them. Cordae's project's expected around the 30K range. And I think, you know what, I saw him tweet yesterday about sales, like kind of like shortly, because I tweet these like predictions out on my Twitter as well. And he kind of tweeted that, yo, listen, he doesn't really care too much about it, just like he told us, and he cares about the impact. Honestly, out of all those projects, even Chance, I feel like Cordae's projects having the most, like, just word of mouth. Where I hear people talking about, like, damn, yo, this shit's good.
Yeah.
You know, like, so maybe the numbers don't reflect it right now, but I'm kind of with him on saying, you know what, you drop it, you let that shit sit in like 2-3 months, shit might still be on the charts, maybe higher than some of the others that is going to be featured on the debut list with.
Right. I think his run is going to be kind of like, remember when Logic dropped his first album? It was right after like Good Kid, Mad City, and a lot of people started comparing it. That's how I wasn't going to say that's directly why it blew up, but it started blowing up after because a lot of people were saying that it was just as good or if not better for his fan base, and then he grew his core from that. I wanted to know, you seen that Chance had some shit where it was like free Ubers or Ubers?
Yeah.
Did that count as sales?
So, he was on Twitter as well defending that it doesn't.
Okay.
So, you know, because this whole talk about bundles, and now, you know, like when people saw that, they're like, oh shit, Chance doing the bundles. And, you know, he always wants to be the purist, all pun intended, in every type of way. But, yeah, he said it doesn't count. He said it's just like kind of like a packaging deal that he had with Lyft. But still, I don't know. So apparently that didn't count. But as an independent artist, that's a good look for him.
Nah, that's dope. I mean, yo, listen, this nigga for him to be independent, like he gets the biggest looks. This nigga got Doritos commercials, Kit Kat commercials, all types of shit. You know what I mean? And he's an independent artist, so he has a hell of a team behind him. I say that. there's definitely a staff. Like, people think independent is just like you and producers sitting in a room. There's a whole fucking staff working this shit.
I'm not gonna lie though, like if just again, and by the way, you know, we talked about Chance's album yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, I was a little bit disappointed where his sales is landing. Like,
Really?
yeah, for some reason.
Why you mean like the album?
Yeah,
No.
Sales?
But what were you expecting?
I actually thought he was gonna hit that like 200, 250 range. Like, I just, in my mind, I perceived him, and you know, I'm also fooled by him saying, yo, well, like he always had that, oh, yeah, I got nominated for a Grammy. I'm supposed to be like, as I said, I've heard the comparisons to Drake, this and third, in terms of just his commerciality. Like, he's very clean cut. I don't know. I felt it was gonna be a little bit higher. Again, this is just numbers talk. Yeah. Nothing to do with, we talked about the quality of the album yesterday, but for some reason I thought it was like, Chance finally drops 200,000 out the gate, or 250.
You had super high hopes for him in general, it seems. Your expectations were way up. All right, understandable. All right, so one of the projects I'm really looking forward to this year is Big Sean's album, whenever that finally comes. So we got a single called Overtime a few days ago, produced by Keyway and Hit Boy and Milo. So on this, you hear him talk a lot about the things he's been going through, like his battle with depression, which he mentioned, I believe it was on Twitter, a few months ago. Curious what you guys think about this. It's his first solo single that we heard in a while. He did the project with Metro, and then I Decided came out in 2017.
I always like when he does this. It's kind of like just getting shit off his chest type of record. And it reminded me of when he did No More Interviews. Love that song. Like I felt like that was setting up his mindset that was gonna roll into an album. And I remember No More Interviews then. I don't know if that necessarily happened. So I'm taking this again with a grain of salt to say, yo, fucking dope song, I love it. But what will his overall mood, temperament be through a whole project? I don't know. But that song in particular, absolutely. It was interesting that, you know, he's kind of getting a little bit deep with kind of explaining like some of the depression stuff. And, you know, honestly, I wouldn't have known. Like, I'm a little taken aback with all of that.
Why?
Sean. I don't know. Like,
when we discussed it last time, I feel like you were pretty dismissive.
maybe because I don't understand it yet fully with him.
But I mean,
I don't know where that comes from.
You don't understand like his battle with depression or just depression in general?
I've never like listened to his music, and maybe I'm just like not the biggest Sean fan, even though I do think I'm a big Sean fan. Like I don't ever see him. That was never the battle I saw that he was highlighting through his music, even his albums.
I think like 85% of artists might be depressed, like, or have some sort of depression. Now, depression doesn't mean that they're sitting in a dark room contemplating hurting themselves and nothing like that. But I do think that they suffer. A lot of artists are looked at to be fucking superheroes, and they just want to be regular people. And like with Sean, one thing I noticed about Sean is like, once he got like kind of popping, he's always been in a relationship. Like, we never really got a chance to see him out of a relationship. And I don't know if that may be related to, and I'm not trying to give him no diagnosis or nothing, but just viewing him as a man, I mean, he's a very competent person. He's very confident in his music, but he also was in that class right after the Drake, what is that? Remember it was Drake, Cudi, and Wale? He was like right after that class that was supposed to be the next top people that you always hear, always talk about. And it seems like he never really hit that mark how he should have. I just think there's a lot of things going on in his life that people may not be privy to.
We got a fan question about this, but I don't know if you guys saw our episode yesterday with MGK. I thought we got into a really good conversation about sort of some of the pressures of like fame, the struggles you go through behind the scenes, substance abuse. This was like the deepest side of Akademiks I've ever heard, and we've been doing this show for what, like 2.5 years at this point? No, I didn't forget this happened. We just didn't get like super deep into it, but when you were talking about like asking him if he was an addict and like drinking, and people asking you why you drink all the time, you said you didn't have the answer. That's why I'm surprised something like this is so surprising to you.
Well, here's the thing with Big Sean. I felt like Big Sean drops projects and disappears, and we don't see him anytime unless he's with Janae. Usually, like in the last couple of years. Let's be honest, right? We don't see him too much like on a personal level, like what he does outside of giving us music. So we don't know what he's going through. And again, yeah, I'm shocked by it. Not shocked, but I'm a little surprised by it. But it doesn't mean that that's not real and that's not what's going on. But it now makes me think, like, what happens once he stops? Like, he drops an album, he tours, then what happens? He went away for a little while, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we never see how he deals with the criticism that he's gotten for the last 2 projects, whether it was the joint project with Metro, right? Or
You didn't do an album with Janae too?
it was like an EP.
EP, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to deal with the criticism? Because as soon as you respond, then you're triggered and the internet thinks you're the saltiest person on earth.
But there's a lot of ways to deal with criticism, right? There's a way, like, you know,
Publicly, I mean.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with Eminem, when Eminem got criticized heavily for the project before the last one, he came out and he said, all right, he probably took some accountability himself and said, I'm going to deliver. So you can respond by just answering the critics through music, or sometimes that shit, if you felt like you, and you got to realize with Big Sean, the joint project, that was like really all his idea, right? I think when artists kind of fail or get a lot of backlash from shit that wasn't pushed by a label, wasn't really forced onto them, that's them, and they kind of get rejected on it. Some people just kind of, I don't want to say cower down in the shell, but you kind of you become reclusive a little bit.
Right.
And I felt like that's what happened with Big Sean. And especially, you know, he's been going through like certain battles that he could probably identify with MGK when he was here. But MGK was like, you know, he didn't feel like he was getting his flowers almost. You get me?
Yeah,
And
that's what I
that's
think.
one of the things with Sean, whether it's, the Kendrick Sean conversation, is he top 3 conversation? Where do we rank his solo albums? Even going back before the last 2 projects, where do we rank those? So
Yeah, but I think more than music, it's probably just more than music stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what he's going through with his family or personally, and we're not privy to that information. Like, we won't know all of that. So it's like, I think the best way for him to do it will be like through music, because me personally, I don't think that Sean is ever gonna come and do like this big all-out interview or nothing like that. I just would like to hear it in his music if he wants to share. If he doesn't, that's fine too, because it's his life. But I'm just happy that he's being vocal about sharing that with his fans, that he's been in a little dark space, you know, because we see so many different instances with artists where they go through shit and then we never hear from them again, you know what I mean, from unfortunate reasons. So it's good that he's actually able, like you said, to get it off his chest in music.
Yeah. Our fan question was, let's see, it's hard to stay musically relevant. Do you think with the time off that Sean took, he'll be able to bounce back to the top tier of artists again, or does the time off hurt him? I think this goes back to this conversation. I don't think Sean is the kind of guy, personally, maybe you guys disagree, that even if he disappeared for 2 years and put out no music at all, that it hurts him if he comes back with a great album.
I don't either. I think people like him though. I think like so many people like him.
He's put out so many like great mixtapes. He's established himself. I feel like he deserves to take time off to do with whatever he's going through.
Especially if, like you said, if he's dealing with something, like absolutely. I don't think that he's like on the clock or somebody that we look at is like, he's just definitely established himself. Like he's at almost 10 years in his career now too. So I think we definitely like let him rock when it comes to taking time off.
Yeah, of course, he's a veteran in the game, but I do think this time around, more than usual, and probably for the first time, just on my assessment of his career, I don't think he's in the conversation. Like, even when, you know, I think if you ask him, he'd be higher in the conversation, whether we were just talking about the top niggas in the game. I feel like, and again, maybe just due to his absence, I don't feel like he's in the conversation, and maybe his next album changes that. But right now, he's not.
That's fine, though. So I'm saying I feel like he's the kind of artist that doesn't have to be in the conversation, but a good project could put him back. You were doubting Cole for the last, 5 years. You didn't like the last project. You didn't think Dreamville was popping. Now you think he's probably the top artist of the year.
Well, the big difference with that was that I think it was just Cole's mindset. Like, it all depended on Cole. Like, it felt like Cole was accepting, like, yo, listen, y'all can have that. I'm good with me. I'm doing me.
Right.
And then I think, I don't know, whatever it is, and I think he's kind of gave out bits and pieces of why. Like, he just hit another gear to say, fuck that.
Right.
I think he wanted to have fun. I think he just, like, Cole got in a place where he kind of fell back from all the industry shit. He grew his dreads out, you know what I mean? And chilled, became a father and all that. And then all that's cool, but this is his sport. He wanted to have fun again. I think that's the thing with Cole. Like, we know that this nigga ain't hurting for no bread and nothing like that. He wanted to put everybody from Dreamville on and put them in a better plateau. But I think he just wanted to have fun again. If Sean can want to have fun again,
Right.
then he'll be good.
Exactly. I don't think he's someone we could count out. I
Yeah.
feel like he just has to get back to that spot.
Let me ask you a question. Well, or not ask a question. I'll introduce this. Because, again, I do think, even though some of these are real issues, and again, most of these guys, they're good, whether financial, whatever, they're veterans in the game. So, your mental health and mental well-being is way more important than just trying to be like this machine just pumping out music to keep whatever stature you feel you have in the game. But, I feel like Wale, right? Wale, who has been through certain things, I felt like he fell out of the conversation after a while. And is he still making good music? Yeah. Did he automatically, and I know he hasn't really dropped another album. I know his last album dropped, and he felt that was underrated too. But did he get back in the conversation, or it feels like he still hasn't got there yet? So that's the only thing I'm saying with Sean. I know he has the talent, but is it something where shit's just progressing and you just kind of taking that time off, whether it has to do with you going through some mental shit or not? Will that honestly just kind of take you out the whole conversation of?
No, I mean, not when you establish, because I just think of like, so many of our favorite artists have gone through tribe, and I'm not directly comparing them, but look at DMX, right? No matter how many times DMX goes to jail, no matter how many times he may relapse or whatever the case may be, when DMX feels like going to fucking doing Rough Riders Anthem a few times, or like if he does a prayer or we want to hear him speak, we always accept it because that's our guy, right? And I mean, I don't think that he's never gonna get to a point of 1998 where he puts out, like, he has that run again, but for where he's at, we always accept what he's bringing us. Same thing with Wale. I think Wale could be crazy sometimes, but I think he's highly misunderstood because he's so passionate, and people mistake his passion for arrogance, or mistake his passion for him, like, thinking that he's entitled. Like, he's just very passionate about who he is. He's very unapologetic about who he is, and I think that he's just misconstrued sometimes. Because people look at one or two actions and just think he's defined by that. So I think even with Sean, these niggas just gotta wanna have fun again. If we not having fun, fuck all the music, all of that. Your mental well-being comes from within you, but you gotta wanna have fun. We do this shit every day because we have fun. The minute that we not having fun, we just like, fuck is we coming? What am I waking up 5:45 in the morning to be here for?
All right.
Got a point there, but
Okay.
DMX is a little bit.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on.
We got Wale and Big Sean.
Yeah, let's move on. Shout out to Sean, though. I'm really excited for this
I'm excited
album.
for
I
Sean,
hope
too.
it comes soon. All right, so last time we talked about Jermaine Dupri. He was launching a female cypher to make up for what he said, but it seems like he's just really back on what he said originally. So during an interview with Atlanta Black Star, he said that female rappers should start a new genre of rap called strap.
And I said, it's like strippers rapping. And it went crazy. But what people don't understand is, I actually believe that these women that do this type of music should start calling it strap. Is that funny? Is that? I'm telling you, like, for real. That's what I think. Just like we have trap, they should call it strap. I mean, it's the stories of their life. You know what I'm saying?
Anyone?
All right, look.
I don't know if we just couldn't hear the mics pick up whatever was going on in the background, but I felt like a whack joke and you were
Yeah, right.
get that one? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
honestly, JD look like he's gonna ride this one straight to the grave. like he's not making his. He said what he said. Now it feels like he's bothered enough that he has to still defend it. That's what I'll say. But as I said before, he's uninformed. I think he should have got more informed so that he could at least give some more complexity of that opinion to say, yo, there's certain chicks who are diversifying the shit, and then there's a lane. And I'm only talking about that lane. And that's the lane that seems to be popular. And if that's the case, you might have a slight point.
I don't think that Jay-Z is uninformed. I really, no, I can't believe, because one thing I will not take away from Jermaine Dupri is that he's one of the most legendary producers in this game. He's been a legendary artist. He's broke a lot of artists from kids to adults. The nigga's an icon, right? Now, I don't think that he's uninformed. I just think that because it's not the shit that he used to do, that he just views it a certain way. I think, like, if we call it a stripper rap now, Megan Thee Stallion was never a stripper. I mean, she never was a stripper. There's only one person who is a stripper that's a rapper right now, which is Cardi B. Now, the context of the music might be a certain thing, but the same shit with trap. A lot of these niggas never sold drugs, man. A lot of these niggas never was busting their gun. And we see it every day. Rappers having 100 guns in their video and then come out and say, that's not me, I was never doing none of that, etc. Right?
So is it wrong if he says, listen, just like we have just a little subgenre called trap, we just have, again, whether you're a stripper or not, if your content is of that, like, basically that's like Tales from the Strip Club or that world, just term it as trap.
I mean, do we look at the city girls in that lane? I don't look at this they rap, they music.
We do gotta come up with a name for the fuck these niggas scam. We're down to scam them.
That's his trigger.
Fine, but
no, I'm
strap
sure.
is not it though.
Strap
It should
is
have
not
said
it.
Okay, maybe
Right.
strap don't really go well because
It was a bad joke.
strap ain't really the thing.
It was a bad joke.
But I do think there's a lane there.
But see, that's the only problem I have. It's like, end of the day, I still gotta put it in the genre fucking hip hop. Like, I just gotta put it in hip hop. If hip hop is expression that comes from the street, right? Self-expression, I gotta put it as hip hop, regardless if it's trap or not. Like, Biz Markie made a really good point one time about 21 Savage. He said, yo, 21 Savage is like Prodigy. And I seen some people take offense to that. But he said that 21 Savage, while he may not be like the best rapper, he just has a way with words where he gets his point across straight to the point, and that's how Prodigy was, right? So it's like, because 21 Savage makes trap music or would be themed trap music, do we take him out of the conversation of just hip hop overall? Nah, like, I think that we gotta stop making these little subgenres. All right, you niggas, y'all sit over there, y'all sit over there, y'all over there. We all going to the same award shows. You know what I mean? Like,
You're right. It's all hip hop. The only thing, and this is why, again, first of all, JD's a man who's speaking on like the female genre. And by the way, you could have, if you're gonna be that critical of just
he's done a lot in the female
rapping,
genre though. He's done a lot in the female genre
Granted.
as far as rappers.
Granted, but if you're gonna be that critical or kind of throw them under the bus a little bit, you could have the same thing to say about a lot of dudes who rap like
Absolutely.
that. You get me? So if he kept it on both sides, good. But if it seems like you're just kind of, it feels like you're almost like salty or like you're just
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's misinformed. I just think that he's not feeling the shit because it's not the shit. It's not the brat. You know what I mean? Or it's not this one or that
But here's
one.
the thing though. I can't be too mad at him because among the ranks of female rappers, that pettiness kind of exists, bro. Like,
What pettiness?
All
shit,
right.
I just seen Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki on Instagram Live, and like, again, of course they're not making it like, oh, we're the lyrical writing females, but like they were basically almost like throwing shade at the other women who rap who don't write. You get me? So like there are little subcategories to whatever is being done. You get me? I just think for JD, he's just got to stop calling women rapping about sex stripper rap.
All right, how about this? We're good on JD's opinions for the rest of the year. Can we move on to some female rappers talking about female rappers now?
All right.
All right, let's get into our segment, Big Facts or B.S. The first one is from Young Miami Akademiks. Will you do me the honor of reading this tweet, please?
That look like Yachty?
Asshole.
Young Miami says, a year ago, female rappers was rapping about shooting and fight like niggas. Now everybody rapping about pimping niggas and they pussy. Say I'm lying.
Big Facts or B.S.?
Big Facts and B.S.
Wait.
All right. Well, first off, I don't even know where she was going with by saying that. Like, nobody, who was questioning if she was lying. I'll say, let me see. I say B.S. only because like a lot of women been rapping like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of women been rapping this way. It's just now reaching the forefront. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of women been rapping about a lot of shit that they're rapping about today, and women been rapping about shooting and shit too. Like, women rap, like, you know what I'm saying? They rap. They go through we in the hood right with them. They go through the same emotions with us. If it's the dude that's rapping about getting locked up, the woman is there that held him down or didn't hold him down. Them same emotions exist on both sides. So, like, this is not a new thing that just happened today. If you go back to fucking No Limit and Mia X and Mercedes and everybody else and Trina, they've been having certain types of context in their music. Jackie O, for the people who remember her, like, they've been having certain types of context in their music. So this is not a new thing. So I say BS.
I'm going to say Big Facts. Young Miami is having her Migos moment when Migos says, yo, listen, like, we just gave y'all the sauce and everybody's running with it. Yeah, like, the city girls, and by the way, you know, salute to Cardi. Cardi does her own thing, but, like, the city girls have now started this lane, and I don't want to be like they just invented a wheel, but they've repopularized the lane where it's like, we're not going to just do what most female rappers do and just objectify ourselves and just like, oh, let's rap about whatever you dudes want that could get us to sell. No, we're going to be on some fuck y'all, this is us. And I think that is kind of new. And I think with the support that they're getting, of course, the records are hitting. Act Up, huge song.
Yeah.
And with it being actually a thing, of course, Megan Thee Stallion, it's kind of like a parallel movement with the Hot Girl Summer. It's kind of like I see a bunch of other women almost empowering themselves and saying, yeah, I'm not going to just sexualize myself hoping that I could relate to each one of you men as consumers. Fuck y'all. We girls are, we bitches. That's what they
boys.
say.
I'll say this lastly real quick. I gotta, if we're gonna talk about like all of that context of that type of music, I gotta give it up to Gangsta Boo. Cause Gangsta Boo from 3 6 Mafia, been talking about street shit, been talking about fucking niggas, all types of shit. Like, so gotta give her flowers while she here as well. But I'm just saying that it's at the forefront now. Like, you know what I mean? It's really at the forefront with the city girls and shit, but it's been going on. It's been going on.
I think Young Miami has somewhat of a point because this is a new twist to like a movement going on. And if the city girls got to be on that Mount Rushmore of whatever we're calling it. Not strap, but it's the finessing.
Mount Rushmore is a strap.
The Mount Rushmore of fuck these niggas, we're finessing and scamming them.
Oh, man.
All right, so this next one is interesting. This is from Kamaiyah. She's putting music out now. She says she took like a little time to sort of like reset. Glad that she's back. She says, Dej Loaf got hella kids. Her style is the most duplicated in the game. I said what I said. Hella people sound like baby loafs. Baby loafs, I like that, that's cute.
Big facts. I say big facts because there is a lot of people that have duplicated her style, but I mean, the unfortunate thing about Dej Loaf, it just seems like she's not winning with her style the way she once was. So I don't know if this penetrates or not. Like, I mean, it's one thing to say she has a bunch of babies, but if she don't, if they're taking her shit and putting it on a higher plateau than she is, and she's the creator of it, then where does that leave her? I feel the same way with A Boogie. Like, A Boogie has a lot of children, tons of them, but he's the top of what he does. So
we could be specific. You know, she was very general, Suta Kamaiyah, but she was very general, not saying names. Let me go down the hierarchy of how I see shit in styles, right? Because I posted this and I also posted a comment, which was my opinion, but I saw other, you know, artists who hop in, like people want to know, like, hey, y'all saying this is, I see T-Pain jumped in. By the way, salute to T-Pain. Or y'all niggas who was just drowning off autotune, which most of y'all are, yeah, y'all T-Pain's kids, right? So, like, before we give, I'm gonna say BS to this, like Big Facts mixed with BS, if there's such a thing, just because, yes, Dej Loaf, again, are we saying she had like a whole complete style, or we're saying she had a big record with a unique style, right, that people seem to have copied, right? Try Me. Try Me, when I heard A Boogie, my shit, I heard remnants of it.
Okay.
For me, again, I live across the bridge. I live in Jersey. So maybe other niggas was up on A Boogie before Dej Loaf. I was not. So I thought when I heard A Boogie, I said, oh, A Boogie got some of his style from Dej Loaf. Now, that was one song. Does the style from that one song penetrate to some of A Boogie's other songs? Yes. But if I was really to be honest, the new wave of like New York hip hop, and I could from Lil TJ on to the rest of the other niggas that I probably don't know their names. They take directly from A Boogie. I don't think they're going to Dej Loaf, Try Me, or like be like, yo, let's go listen to Dej Loaf to figure out how to sound like.
Do you remember Boogie got a lot of flack because they were saying that not Dej Loaf, but a lot of people said online that he got his style from the kid Speaker Knocker.
Speaker Knocker. You know I was gonna bring him into the mix too.
Yeah, a lot of people said that that's where he got his style from. But I think like, see, when you go back to A Boogie's older shit, he raps like same way like Fetty Wap. When I went back to Fetty Wap's old shit, Fetty Wap was like a battle rapper, like rap. He's from Jersey, it's right there, it's tri-state area, so he does that. But the way that these kids are doing now, they just mixing and blending. But if that's the case, if we gotta go down kids and family trees, then Drake is the fucking godfather of everybody because majority of these people wasn't singing the way that they're singing until Drake did it, which everybody tries to credit that to 50 Cent, but 50 Cent never sang like he used melody, but he wasn't full on singing R&B songs.
If we do family trees, I'm putting Kanye right there because Kanye started fucking with a little melody. Drake refined it because his voice was better.
I put Andre 3000 over Kanye for that too, though.
Okay, but. Well,
with Hey Yaz and
no. We're
gonna go too deep with this.
You're right, but that's what I'm saying. Like once you go down that rabbit hole, you gotta be ready to go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. Because with everybody who you want to give this is the person we should all give credit to, there's somebody else behind them. For example, the Migos. They're like, give us all the credit for the I call it the flow. Like it's the simple, like it's really easy to imitate. Okay, Bone Thugs and Harmony, which I think they've kind of like resented.
They had a whole thing.
Whole thing, but like there's a long lineage of all these flows. When it comes to A Boogie, I think A Boogie used remnants of Speaker Knockers and Dej Loaf's their flow and mixed it with Michael Jackson. You get me? Just with that voice.
Yeah, I think the Michael Jackson shit came in a little later, but yeah.
But exactly, that made him. And then you see other people like kind of doing it. So I think honestly, it's a little bit Big Facts mixed with BS. I do think that the reason why Kamaiyah probably says that is that it always feels a certain type of way when everybody's running with and benefiting off something that you did before them. And you're not getting your flowers, honestly.
Well, at least Dej Loaf's not saying it herself like the Migos always do. It's different when one of your friends or your homies is the one saying it.
If you ask me, and I know, and I definitely know as a fact, this is A Boogie who influenced a lot of these new niggas. Before he put his last project out, and by the way, his project did great. We've been talking about it for months.
Right.
Of course, he was sitting back watching all these niggas copy his flow, be like, damn, what the fuck? But you don't say shit when you put your project out and you're having that success. Right. You don't give a fuck. Copy me all you want, because I'm that guy. But if you feel like Dej Loaf, she's releasing music. I had to go look her up recently. And I'm like, damn, I thought she just stopped putting out music, period. No, she's putting out music, it's just not resonating. I don't know if it's her label situation, I don't know if what's going on with her personally, but
yeah, never know.
All right, so our last Big Facts or BS is basically for Wayno, because Ak doesn't really watch TV and I'm a couple of seasons behind.
I watch How to Get Away with Murder. Stop it.
Do you really?
I've been binging.
You have cable too?
Hey, I just put in like a couple of new flat screens on the wall, so
But do you have cable?
Hell no. Okay. Are you crazy?
All right, just checking. All right, so it's
Netflix,
just
Hulu.
Wayno. It's just Wayno. Just check in.
TV.
I'm the only person with that old ass cable shit.
You gotta get YouTube TV. I kid you not. We're on YouTube anyway.
50 Cent. So he was doing a press tour last Friday, and he shared his thoughts on why he thinks Power has yet to receive an Emmy nomination. He said, quote, "I like to say it's racial. That's the easy way to get out of things. People who are running and connected to these ceremonies are not necessarily cool people. Big Facts or BS, has Power not received an Emmy nod just because he's black?"
I say BS. Sorry. No, but the thing with Power is like the first the first two. What season are they on? 6? Like I think the first the first 2 or 3 was cool, but after the third one, everything is like it's very cliche and it's so on edge. Like I can't take it. It gives me anxiety watching the show for real. So it's like you ever watch SVU, and the last 2 minutes of the show is like the craziest shit happens in the last 2 minutes. Power is a whole hour of the craziest shit every single minute. It's like it's not one part where you just watching like, oh, all right.
You be sitting there shaking your leg the whole time?
Yeah, I'll be like, what the fuck? Like, is this nigga gonna die now? Like, I don't know. And I think it just got to it got a bit cliche, you know, towards the end. I mean, if 50 feels they should win an Emmy, maybe that's because of the work that they put into that shit. For them to be doing 6 seasons is an accomplishment. For him to never be nominated for one might be a little crazy, but I don't think it's because he's black.
Okay.
I don't really watch Power.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to have an opinion here.
No, I do got an opinion.
Of course you do.
You know why?
About everything.
Because if Power ain't even... Karuchi got a goddamn Emmy.
Oh, did she? For the
Yes!
nails
For what?
joint?
The nail shit?
For whatever the fuck she's
She
on.
on some show where they working in
To
like
get
a
me
nail
something
shop.
that...
All right, well then I take that back.
She's on a show that don't even penetrate the culture. We don't even know. Like, we were shocked. Like, huh? You get me? What is it? Claws? What?
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
about
about
working
nail
in a nail
salon.
Okay,
salon.
whatever
Yeah,
that
see
is.
previews.
But all I'm saying is that, yo, Power has been one of those things. I'm pretty sure, does Empire have like
Have you seen a single episode of Power?
I have.
Okay.
Like, it was just too much. I saw some shit like the chick was messing with the limos. I don't know what
That's what I'm saying. It
was just too much.
It's mad suspenseful.
It was just,
like
they
the
had a
whole
club
shit.
going on. There was some other shit, and I was like, let me just bring my basic ass back over to Blacklist and How to Get Money.
Oh, you watch Blacklist too? Okay, Ak does watch TV.
I watch some shit. But
Alright.
this shit, like...
He is TV.
This is why I can't watch
Fucking
really,
prime time.
really like shit like this. Because it's on black people's, like... First of all, everybody talks about the episode, like, this week, so they're spoiling it, and I'm 3-5 seasons behind.
That's
So I'm
Black
like,
Twitter for you?
wait,
They can't
I
control their
watch-
leaks.
Yeah, you can't.
But I think that social media is like the driving force of their shit. That's why I think they might be leaking their own shit. You know what I mean? Because like social media is how the word gets around with Power. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just hate that. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you like, all right, I'm gonna watch it when I get to it, and then you want to be on social media just to be there, and you find out who gonna die, who got locked up. You know what I mean? Who's the
Listen,
father? All types of shit.
I haven't watched, like, I literally only watched like 2 or 3 episodes of Power, but I know the plot. 50 kills his son. There's a nigga named Ghost. Like, I know everything on social media. Somehow they should have got nominated for Emmy because there's a bunch of trash other shit get nominated.
All right, so Ak says big facts on this one.
Big facts. I'm with you. 50.
Get 50 an Emmy.
Somebody
All
owe
right,
50 someone.
Somebody owes someone.
Yeah, but like Wayno says, if it's really 6 seasons, I'm not sure the exact number, that's an accomplishment, man, staying on TV for that long. So shout out to 50, congratulations. Let's wrap up with our Struggle Tunes playlist.
Let's do it.
Wayno, what you got?
I got Big Crit, the intro to his album. Amazing. I love that intro.
There you go.
Gets me ready in the morning. I got my man Pop Smoke with Hawk'em. That's one of my favorite songs this week. I love that shit. He's talking very greasy. Pop Smoke, you know he dropped his EP, right?
Yeah, what was it called? I forgot. Like, I seen on
it's
Apple
out.
Music. I listened to it. Like, his style is very drill music meets UK grime.
Meet the Woo. So next I got my man Jaden Smith with Somebody Else. That's my favorite song off the album, off of Iris. And then lastly, I got YBN Cordae with 1,000 Words. That's my favorite song off of Cordae's album. It talks about social media, how it affects people. I seen him do another interview where he was saying, like, you know, he was going to LA and he was sleeping on the couch and all that shit, but the only pictures he's taking is by the palm trees and on Rodeo Drive and shit, so it looks good. So everybody kind of gets caught up in that social media wave. I love 1,000 Words. That's my playlist. What you got, Akademiks?
I got a new song by X, one of his new singles for his upcoming project. It's Royalty, which features some of the people who I really like. It had the actual GOAT, Vybz Kartel, my actual favorite artist of all time, even beyond Drake.
We know this.
And I had a conversation with like X's mom, like, because she's Jamaican. If you don't, like, she was actually born there. Like, his father still lives there, and she had hit me. She was like, yo, listen, did I do right by X? Because of course he's not here to prove it, everything. And I ain't gonna lie, this is a song I really enjoy. Lil Tecca Ransom, also on my list. Lil Tecca right now is going crazy. And I got into his music, but there's this like popular streamer who's like his doppelganger, named Mario, whatever. But he dropped a song on World Star called Did It Again, really liked it. And I was like, this nigga can't do it again. But like, he has this weird swag, but it's cool, and he sounds melodic. It's kind of like almost, say, A Boogie if A Boogie was doing Caribbean music. It's fun. And he doesn't look like a rapper, but it's 2019. Like, what does a rapper even look like, right? So that song's going crazy. I do believe it's going to be a top 20 song next week, and I'll cover it probably in my breakdown for numbers. I have the Baby and Offset, Babysitter. That song, like, come on, the Baby and Offset, you know that shit had to be fun. And lastly, which I wouldn't expect this, Bad Bunny.
Why wouldn't we expect this?
Kamaiyah. Oh my God, this shit's fire. This shit is fire. I'm not gonna lie, I've been listening to a lot of Latin trap, as they like to call it. Bad Bunny,
I just said you said the name wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's Kamaiyah.
He says most things wrong. Well, you got an honorable mention,
Bro,
honorable
I call it
mention too,
Kamaiyah.
right?
Like, this is fire.
We still need footage of Ak in the club.
Right.
Not plays in the car.
All right, that was your honorable mention or yours?
No, that he has an honorable mention.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Oh, Lil Keys Balenciaga, yo. I'm still off that Lil Keys project. If I haven't listened to it, it's fire.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I'll make mine quick. Dreamville, Sacrifices. This is contender for one of my favorite songs of the entire year. Johnny Venus like outdoes himself on this. Crit and Cole, Prove It from Crit's album. T Grizzly, Sweet Things from Scriptures. I really like this track. Cordae, Family Matters. Like we said, I like that you go through the emotions with him on this album. Like he's having fun with Anderson .Paak. Then you get to hear more personal things. Like I like the Family Matters track a lot. There's my playlist.
Where's your lit song at?
What
Not
up,
today.
Academics?
Not today. That's it. We gotta go. Final thoughts before we
Final
leave?
thoughts. I'm telling y'all right now, don't sleep on Marlon Craft. He's fucking dangerous.
Where did that come from?
Because I watched this freestyle yesterday.
He's the kid that I tried to get his video cleared to put on.
Marlon
Gang
Craft
shit.
is fucking, he can rap his ass
That's
off.
gonna put you on?
I've been trying to tell y'all, but it's
That's
cool.
gonna sign a nigga.
That's how this works here. Then
That's gonna probably sign
Wayno
a
just
nigga
came
low
out of
key.
the blue with that one. Like
Nah, I just watched that Sway freestyle and he murdered that
That
shit.
mean Wayno probably signed.
I've been
I
trying
did
to
not
tell you
sign
guys.
him.
I've been trying to tell you guys.
Nah,
That's
he's
I gotta be
fire.
wondering, like, yo, what happened? So Nadeska, we don't clear no fucking videos. Nadeska waited 3 weeks, dealt with legal, cleared the video. What's going on
She
there?
cares. She cares.
Hey guys, check out my show on Apple Music. Feature a lot of great artists we never talk about here on Everyday Struggle. See you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Is that a side-eye act?
Yeah, I'm side-eyeing both of y'all.